Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Vilas Prabhu. And it's a pleasure to be here with the community on such a special day when we're honoring the Golden Avatar. We did a lot of chanting, so I'll just open up with a quick mantra that you're familiar with. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. And that's it. Okay? Okay, otherwise we'll go on forever and ever. But we would ask the devotees to come a little closer and to fill in the gaps. Nobody likes cavities in their mouth, so we don't like cavities in the floor. So come close, and then latecomers have some room. Okay, I'm going to look at one verse from the Bhagavatam, okay, which is significant to all of us. First of all, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we're looking at the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is entitled Narada's Teachings to Vasudeva, and it's text number 32 from chapter 5. You might know it. Krishna varnyam tvacha krishnang sangopangrasta parshanam yagyai sankirtana prayair yujantihi sumedasaha. And let's go through the word by word. It won't take too long. Krishna varnam. Repeating the syllables Krishna. Tvisha. With a luster. Akrishnam. Not black. Golden. Saanga. Along with associates. Upaanga. Servitors. Astra. Weapons. Parshadam. Confidential companions. Yagyahai. By sacrifice. Sankirtan prayahai. Consisting chiefly of congregational chanting. Yajanti. They worship. He. Certainly. Sumedasaha. Intelligent persons. Translation. Here's what it looks like. Okay? You're all a bunch of great parrots. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. And here's the purport by the disciples and followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. This same verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilela, chapter 3, verse 52. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given the following commentary on this verse. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam known as the Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord, how about Chaitanya? Who is worshipped by intelligent people in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, thank you, He also appears in 3 other colors. Red.
White.
This is beige, actually. But people call us white. White trash, right? And yellow, which is close to golden. He exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya and Treta ages, respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color, yellow gold, until he appeared as Lord, who is known as Gaura Hari. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna Varnyam means Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varnyam and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. You're close enough. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Krishna. Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme personality of Godhead. What is that?
The devil.
But he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoying transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Good. Lord himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Whoever did this purport there got a Christian background. Varanayati means utters or describes. Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it all so. Do you get that one? I'm sewing, right? And because he is Krishna himself, whoever
comes together, congregates,
Binds. Associates.
rhymes with greets. Meets, yes. Yes, meets. We got an echo back there. Okay. Whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. He injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears every as either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Hey, we're not done yet. There's more to the purport here. Okay. Sangopangastra Parishadam further indicates that Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. His body is always decorated. Get this one right. He's always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. Very good. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra, or weapon, to subdue the demons. Because he is all-attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon, and his associates wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great
People, followers.
No. Scholars, this graduation. And acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Are you from Orissa? Who said that? Are you from Orissa? Okay. Lord, if you are, then you're proud. Okay, Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates, like Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from the Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such eternal, pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste or creed, can
Come together.
It's the opposite of disassemble. Thank you. I thought it was going to be here forever. Can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship. To worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together, yay, samosa for you. Together chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's it. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu. I'm going by the purport. Thus, worshiping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose as satisfying the Supreme Lord. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord said, thank you, the principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to the lotus feet as humming are attracted to a lotus flower. Yeah. Okay, the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described in the Sri Vishnu Sahasranama, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dana Dharma Parva of Mahabharat. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this reference as follows. This guy's following this guy. Okay. As follows. Suvarna Varno Himango Varangas Chananangada Gdi. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are
long,
beautiful, and his body
Glowing.
cream.
Shining, glowing.
give me an S, 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 M, 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 E, 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 A. Smeared. He said it. Smeared with the pulp of sandalwood, seems like golden, molten gold. He has also quoted Sannyasa Krich Chama, Shanto Nishta Shanti Parayanaha. In his later past, he accepts the sannyas order, and he was equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace, and for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Jai, Hare Krishna. Previlas, how long do we go till? 8:20-ish. Okay. Thank you very much for going through the purport with me. I really appreciate it. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Navani Paracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavad Paschacha Deshatari. That's it, Prabhu. You know, especially you. You know. Okay, so now a very prime verse in the Bhagavatam, a great text which has many, many shlokas, and it stands out because it offers a prediction about the future, and that prediction is Lord Chaitanya's coming. It is also a verse that's quoted by the great scholars like Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and others to verify that Krishna is coming again. Now, some of us were raised Christian. We were told that there's going to be a second coming of Christ. Christ will come again. And if you're Jewish, I guess a Messiah will come. And if you're I guess if you're a Vaishnavite, or you're or a Hindu, there's going to be always an avatar that will be coming around the corner. There's always an avatar that will be coming in every age. Well, every age there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 avatars that will come. So like in Kali Yuga, Buddha appeared in this age. And then there's also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when we're talking about right now, and also coming in the future at theaters near you, is Kalki Avatar, and he will be quite different. His approach will be very different from that of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the ultimate, he's the ultimate, hippie. Peace, brother. Peace, bro. And he comes peacefully with his astras, his weapons, which are known as his associates. He had 4 primary associates, and then there were 6 other associates, like the Goswamis, who wrote many texts on the science of devotional service. Kalki Avatar, on the other hand, comes with some venom, you can say. He comes with a sword, riding on a white horse, and in a section of the Bible, you can read some descriptions which almost match up what Kalki Avatar is about to set out to do. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes to attract the intelligent folks, because intelligence, sumedasa, that's the term, refers to those who are people who have been able to figure it out. And what is there to be figured out? Is that I want to be happy, I should be a happy man. I should be a happy chappy. That's what the British will say, happy chappy. And how will I be happy? I have to certainly be honest with myself in order to be happy. And it means that I have to come to terms with who I really am. I'm not this body, I'm a spirit. That's a very profound statement that Prabhupada highlights quite a lot. You know, you can see him or hear him on film that says, "We are not these bodies." He shouted out like that, you know, making the point. We are not, then what are we? We are spirit souls. So first of all, let's get a hold of who we really are and give up the identity crisis syndrome that everybody talks about. I don't know my identity, you know? Like we hear that from a lot of people, like a lot of younger devotees, 2nd generation, 3rd generation devotees, people who grew up in the movement, the Krishna consciousness movement, sometimes have a little identity crisis. They don't necessarily fit into this camp or that camp, and where do they fit in? And, it's like that. It's actually true. And yet, and sometimes, like those of you who come from India, the first immigrants, your kids also don't always fit in. Well, I'm not black and I'm not white. And I'm brown, but where do the brownies fit in? It's true. Culturally, we're not part of we haven't, not yet made it in, mainstream necessarily. It's coming though. You understand what I'm saying? It's really, you can talk to some of our young kids, Dad, Mom, I don't know where I really fit in. So they have an identity crisis. And you just simply solve the problem, and you put on the latest Bollywood movie, and you've got it figured out. I'm one of them. No, that's not where we want to go, really. No, thanks to Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his predecessor, has helped us to understand a whole other culture that you can identify with strongly. Like now, in the yoga community, kirtan is a very strong thing. It's a very, very hip thing to go to the kirtan. Of course, sometimes people say they don't pronounce it like we're going to the curtain. And I said, are you going to the drapes? It's kirtan. And in this verse, the word appears. The word also appears in Bhagavad Gita. Satatan kirtayantamang yatansascha dridavrita. And it's describing a Mahatma, a great soul. So a Mahatma, or a person who's intelligent, will prescribe and, prescribe to, practice and share this formula of the chanting sessions, chanting that we have, which was done very nicely by our previous Kirtani is over here. And by the way, I must confess, I love the djembe. It gives a certain extra boom. It brings the gut out, brings out the guts of a kirtan. And may I let a little bit about the history. Harmonium has become so popular in kirtan, but harmoniums are not part of our culture. Harmoniums was born from some Mataji and Pitaji from Germany in the 1800s. So it's a Western instrument, but it made its way into kirtan and became mainstream. But the actual traditional kirtan is without harmonium, without keyboards, and it is more, tribal in a way. Yes. It is more with the drums and different kinds of drums, and the Bangladeshi drums are especially, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. So, a little bit about that, and popular kirtan in places like Orissa, where it's really been held together for over the centuries, is played with jajas, like the wampers we call them, cupped cymbals, and that is those. I would love to go to a Rath Yatra in North America, where one chariot has just jajas playing, and they know how to play it. They've played it well. We got to talk. And another chariot, it's a different flavor, mridungas. Traditional mridungas. And another chariot in front of that should be maybe South Indian, what do you call them? Nageshwaram. Or North Indian, Bhangra, Or it could be djembe with a little African flavor. Or you change it up once in a while. Like every year you have something a little different. So New York, get your act together. In Toronto, we have a 3-chariot festival, and we haven't quite got there to do what my idea has been for some years now. Give a different flavor to each chariot, so that doesn't all sound the same like a bunch of Mayavadis. Because really, one great shining element of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's contributions has been the personalistic aspect. We have to embrace his philosophy. We have to embrace his process, which is chanting, but also embrace his philosophy, which is not a concoction. It's contained in Bhagavad Gita, Mayatitam idang sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. And what that means is simultaneous oneness but difference. Okay, like in a kirtan, you see everybody looks different. Everyone's got a different kurta on, and a different sari and so on like that. And everyone has got a different look. But we're all part of one kirtan, And we all contribute a different sound to it by our singing. By the way, some people are off key, and I can't stand a kirtan where people are off key. I just want to run away. Kirtan should sound, it reminds with treat. Sweet, yes. Sweet. Srila Prabhupada presented sweet kirtan. And we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also presented sweet kirtan. That is found in some of the songs by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and so on. Here it is. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware. Gai Gaura Madhur. So Gai means to sing. And Gaura refers to, guess who? And Madhur refers to honey. So the sweetness. So that is how it should be, let's say, presented out there. Some devotees sometimes give the argument, well, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj had one person sing who was totally off key, but he was probably the most devotional one. But for purposes of attracting the masses, you might want to sing on key and try it. Also, in regards to kirtan, I would suggest that kirtan leaders don't hit the high notes too often because nobody can follow it. Only you, and maybe your voice cracks at the end. And then you look like a bumbling idiot in anyways. So you might as well just, do it so that everybody can groove together. So Chincha Beta Beta Tattva, that is the philosophy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought to the world. And that is it's like khichdi. Khichdi, or a real good pizza. Pizza is it's a one prep. And it's shaped like an Om symbol, but it has everything on it. And khichdi is one of the best, most healthiest foods you can eat on the planet. And especially the haldi. The haldi must be in there to purify your blood. And I think it helps people with Parkinson's disease and other things. The haldi is good for you. And the ginger, and there's got to be sabjis in the khichdi, otherwise it's not worth looking at. Don't give me khichdi with just rice and dal in it and some turmeric. It's got to have some broccoli in it, for God's sake. So a khichdi is one prep, but it has everything in it. So a kirtan is it's a one sound, it's harmonious, everyone's working together. It's inclusiveness. That's the other thing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He welcomed everybody. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had no barriers for who could participate. At that time, Islam was also already strong in India. We heard that Christians had also come into the south in Kerala, but we don't have any record of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interacting with Christian folks. He definitely had interactiveness with the Buddhists and the Jains, and people of varying backgrounds, and Sikhism also. Sikhism also had just taken birth in its unique shape with the interaction of Guru Nanak in Puri. That's a fact. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met with Guru Nanak. So you see, there's all this stuff. And now, one other thing that's really unique about kirtan, which is about the glorification of the Lord, about sacred sound. All the people of different spiritual paths do it. But they have a different name, They may use different sounds, but the principle is the same. It's the same. That is one common denominator that we may find amongst all the spiritual traditions. They all get together and sing. And in some cases, they dance. Have you ever been to some of those places where open their mouth, there's a little something coming out, and they're standing like sticks. Well, at least they're glorifying God. But I like the places where people are. And where people like Murari Gupta dance up a storm. We know he's famous for his unique dance. Nobody in the movement dances like you. You know that.
The age.
Anyways, you're part of the Sankirtan. So Kirtan means glorification of the Lord. It's found in the Bhagavad Gita, the verse is there. And then when we say Sankirtan, it comes from the word Samyak. Samyak means complete, Purnam, like whole. That means more people, like congregational. It's an effort by a number of people, whereas bhajan is a small group of people, right? And japa is usually singularly done, executed. So we have 3 levels of chanting. One is japa, which we must do, and we do, right? How many people do every day? Some japa? Okay. And for those who want to go feel a little bit humble, how many don't? Okay, good. So that's great, because now you can. And then bhajan is something that is, a small, quieter, setting, a small number of people. And then Sankirtan, kirtan, with a whole bunch of people, is congregational effect. It's everyone coming together. The more, the merrier. So when we talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being inclusive, we're actually referring to the fact that he brought in all kinds of people of all different backgrounds. And it didn't matter what caste or color or creed. You know, the Brahmins could come in, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. King Prataparudra was a Kshatriya. He came into the picture. And we know that he attracted a lot of very scholarly people. And then there were all kinds of people from different backgrounds, from, you know, a laboring background and so on like that. And so he was for everybody, you know, and he, you know, that's why he's all attractive. So we can praise him like anything on this very day, his coming, his birth, appearance today. And he comes like the moon. I don't know if he had a chance to see the moon today. I took an early flight from Toronto to Detroit, and from Detroit to Cleveland, and then from Cleveland I drove all the way out here, and then from there I walked from the street up to the street. That was the shortest walk I ever did in my life. And, you know, so I saw the moon this morning, and I also saw the sun coming up at the same time. Two eyes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is compared to Gaura, like the moon, Gaura Chandra. Many songs are written about Gaura Chandra, like the one we heard a little earlier on. Chand refers to the moon, which has a cooling effect. And people in this age of Kali are like, they carry on like a bunch of hot chilies. And they need a cooling effect. And the cooling effect comes from participating in the kirtan, or the chanting method in one of the three scenarios that we described. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described here as being not of a dark complexion like Krishna is. Krishna means dark one, refers to the dark one. That is one translation. But Akrishna refers to the opposite, golden. And then other key words that are mentioned here, such as Sumedha said, we already addressed that. You're intelligent when you don't fight. You're intelligent when you come together and you sing. People come with their guitars, their drums. Sometimes not even that is necessary. Sometimes you simply have to come just with your hands and your voices, and you clap your hands, and that's good enough. You know, it's so nice when people can get their rhythm together and sing. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came unique. He is also Radha and Krishna. People have some issues with God always being male, but in our tradition we can proudly say, like yesterday I was interviewed by one of the newspapers in Canada called the Toronto Sun, and they said, oh, the lady with the camera said, oh, could you stand over there? And that was a friend of Radha and Krishna. And so I was proudly saying to the journalist who asked me the question, can you tell us what's going on here? And I said, well, this is God. This is Divine Father and Divine Mother. And by the way, he's black and she's white. We had a couple that came to our temple some years ago, and it was a couple of, you know, black dudes, and they said, hey man, look at, they believe that their God is black, and look, he's got a white chick. But what we understand from this purport is that God's complexion is not limited to white, black, or white. There's other tones in between. You can look at the rainbow, the spectrum outside after a good rainfall like it was today. And you can see all the various multicolors that are there. And it is beautiful. Rainbow is nice. And I'll kind of finish on that note. It's described in the Krishna book. Prabhupada is talking about how Krishna is like a rainbow in two ways. The rainbow is naturally very attractive. And, you know, it's like shaped like a bow. So when you have a bow, just like a bow and arrow, it's held together by a taut string, right? And that's why the shape is the way it is. But when it comes to Krishna, he's like a bow, but there's no strings attached. You know, he's aloof. Nothing holds him down. He's not held down by karma like ourselves. You know, he's not under the influence of the modes of material nature like ourselves. Tribhir Gunamayir Bhavayir Ebi Sarvam Idam Jagat. So that means that we who are born into this world as a result of karma are under the influence of the three modes of material nature. But that is not the case of Krishna. He comes here through like an immaculate conception, you can say, and he comes here in a divine way. He's born like that. In the similar way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in a unique way. And he was, you can read the descriptions in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about his birth. And he actually stayed in the womb for a little extra time period, more than the 9 months that's usually given. So he's our hero, and we discussed about him a little bit more earlier on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was 7 feet tall, and when I see Prem, alas, I think that, here's Chaitanya. And you're Gujarati, aren't you? Are you Punjabi? Half Punjabi? Oh, that explains it. Punjabis can be very tall. And, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's born in Bengal and of Bangladeshi folks, and people from that part of the world are known to be quite short. But he really became a giant, 7 feet tall. He would have been great at basketball. He would have done it. And now there's different phases of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can dwell on his Leela as a child. You can dwell on his Leela as when he was a grahasta. He had beautiful, long, flowing trestles of hair. And then later on, after his hair was cut, when he took sannyas, which his mother didn't like, he had this, beautiful, shining, glow that came off, like when you're bald, you can be beautiful. Yeah. So, and monks of the Vedic tradition were way ahead of their time. When I was a kid growing up, the only men that were bald that really looked good was Mr. Clean with an earring. And Yul Brynner, the actor who played in The King and I. So, and it was very funny when I joined the movement. It was really strange because when Prabhupada first came in on the scene in '65, everyone had hair. Yeah. If you were white, you had hair, it went like this. If you were black, it was all, it was an afro, And, and that was it. And facial hair was sported, like anything. And these were the women. No, I'm just joking. No, if you had hair, you just showed it off. And then Prabhupada came with just the opposite idea. And the first time I ever met devotees, said, these people are weird. They have no hair. And more interesting, as they call themselves, the Hare Krishnas. So it was hard for me to put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to be honored and respected today. And he'd be very happy that he knows that you're chanting, and if you are chanting, do more chanting and do it more meaningfully. And if you're not chanting, then start to chant. Try it out. There's no hard and fast rules in this regard. So we can say much more, but I did promise I would finish, and I was supposed to finish at 20 after-ish. So I'm on the ish. Does anybody have any quick questions or comments? I would really like if Murari Gupta, who's one of the nicest people in the world, really. He's one of the nicest people in the world. And sometimes when I feel a little bit down, because, which I try to call him. The only thing is he doesn't answer his phone, or he's in Mexico or something. So then I get more depressed. No, but I would like if he could say something. Is that okay? Yeah. Is that all right? Hare Krishna.
Well, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm not going to say much. Just happy to be here. I've spent the whole day here since the Mangal Arati this morning. And I've just, you have a wonderful community here. I'm really blown away by the kirtan I heard today, all these young people. And you're just a great community, and you have a unique situation that you have a fired up leader here. I'm actually here to see him because he's trying to talk me into like selling everything I got and giving it to him.
Yes, I also wanted to say that we're very well aware of your project. You know, the temple that's going to be being erected within a couple of years, and at least the start of it. And I did walk across when I started in Boston and made my way to San Francisco. I did include Ohio, and I've been to different cities, through Ohio, and I was wondering why, with such a big population that it is. And I always hear, being a Canadian, I hear a little bit about the voting, and when Ohio really makes a difference, it can tip everything, right? Because there's it's a little dense populated place, and there's lots of cities, nothing humongous, just moderate-sized cities, and we don't have one real temple. But this community is making it happen. And may it be like a milestone in many ways, and encourage other devotees in other cities across Ohio to do the same too. So thank you very much. Really, we wish you all the best on this project, and you're making Prabhupada very happy by putting up like a Vedic temple with all the accessories and all the facilities. And I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of fundraising to make it happen, but it will happen. It's going to happen. Hare Krishna. So is that, Prabhu, is your ish over now?
We'll have kirtan.
Okay, we should have kirtan now. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for participating.